Hi guys, I want to show you this clip which is both necessary and fantastic at the same time. So Sam Harris, the philosopher and author, described Elon Musk here as, well, basically a psychopath who has used the platform X to amplify the worst people in society. And this leads into the consequences from the European Commission, which I'll also show you. Have a listen.
It's exactly the reverse. I mean, you literally have Elon destroying the greatest source of aid to the most desperately needy people on earth and gleefully doing it and talking about feeding USAID into the wood chipper, when he could have been going to parties. That's literally what he tweeted on X. It's just absolutely shameful and psychopathic behavior. And yet in certain circles, his reputation's been destroyed, but not in the circles that matter, right? In my view, he should be untouchable for what he did there. We should require some kind of, Truth and Reconciliation Commission to get him back into good standing in polite society, given how psychopathically he's behaved. I mean, forget about those real world consequences of just actually canceling funding to the neediest people on earth. What he's done on X, I mean, the way he's just signal boosted, white supremacy and anti-Semitism and sheer insanity, and worked rather hard to kind of destroy our sense-making in the political space, it's completely unconscionable and irresponsible. And yet there's more than a tolerance for it. There's actually a post-Babel, nihilistic celebration of it.
And he's completely correct. And this leads into this from the European Commission this week. Have a listen.
Today, the Commission has issued a fine of €120 million to X for breaching the Digital Services Act. This is the first ever fine under the DSA. X has indeed breached its transparency obligation under the DSA. This includes X's blue checkmark. It deceives users. Anyone can pay to obtain the verified status, and X does not meaningfully verify who is behind it. It also includes X advertising repository, which does not work properly, and X doesn't provide effective data access for researchers. Today's decision has nothing to do with content moderation. It's about transparency provisions for citizens here in the European Union.
So the response, of course, from Elon Musk and his sycophants online have been, this is an attack on free speech. When in reality, it's a situation where Elon Musk took over this platform and allowed anyone to become a blue tick verified account. Now, for people who don't know, there was a time when the blue tick verified account was blue tick verified. It was about somebody who was actually the individual that they represented. So this was limited under the old system to people who actually were able to verify that they were the people that they were talking about. But now the current system, anyone can do it. You just pay a fee per month and you're able to have the blue tick, and you're going to be amplified more than anyone who doesn't have a blue tick. And what's happened is, of course, certain accounts have bought up a lot of blue ticks, and then they have seen their accounts being amplified. And of course, Elon Musk has been amplifying far-right accounts in Europe and in the UK and the US. And at the same time, complaining about attacks on free speech. It's interesting that Elon Musk never talks about free speech in China or in Russia. He keeps attacking the European Union or the European Commission when it comes to free speech. What Sam Harris was saying in this clip before is completely true. This is a guy who's acting like a psychopath. When he was head of Doge, he was cutting support for the most vulnerable in society. And now what is he doing with his X platform? He's amplifying the worst people in society. And to hell with the consequences. He's now supporting people like Rupert Lowe. He was supporting Nigel Farage for a period of time. That sort of fell by the wayside. So he's amplifying also Tommy Robinson. He appeared at one of his marches. He appeared via video link at one of his marches, telling the people that they need to take back control, that they need to engage in a rebellion. He has constantly attacked the British government. He's constantly attacked the European Union. Talked about how freedom of speech is being taken away, when ironically, the people he's amplifying want to strip protections away from people. They want the UK to leave the European Convention on Human Rights, which defends freedom of expression. So on the one hand, he's complaining about the European Union taking a freedom of expression away from people, but at the same time, he's amplifying and potentially funding, we have to check, but potentially funding political organizations that want to get the UK out of the European Convention on Human Rights, which would strip away the protection for freedom of expression. He's a dangerous individual. And the people who are cheering him on are the worst people in society. Far-right organizations, far-right governments, Donald Trump, Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, these individuals. They're not on the side of ordinary people. They're not on the side of freedom of expression. Elon Musk is not on the side of free speech either. It's about amplifying who he believes is on his side. And if you're not, then you're going to be shadow banned or you're going to be throttled. That's the problem here. And the European Commission is right to issue this fine. And we're going to see over the next number of days a response from the sycophants of Elon Musk and the bots, of course, responding how in the same sort of language that we hear from Vladimir Putin, how the European Union is corrupt and it needs to end and it needs to be destroyed and it's against freedom of expression. Well, test your free speech in Moscow. Test your free speech in Beijing. But we don't hear Elon Musk mention those countries or those cities. This is a warning from Sam Harris and others that the United States in particular and the world in general is heading down a very dark road. And we need to stand up to this. We need to call it out. It's not predetermined that we end up in some sort of hellhole, that we end up in some sort of dystopia. There's still time to turn things around. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.